here in the Norway. Sorry, this is a bit later than planned. Last couple of days have been really interesting. So today was the first day up to Norway, and of lifetime up here. So the worst storm on record, with very, very high wind. In places, the wind was 20 miles an hour. So the airport's closed, and most were flying in for the trip yesterday. So we were very lucky to come here to Karasjok in Norway, and you can see it's pretty cloudy. You can see a few here and there. Those are the cabins that we stay in the bottom of the shop. Really not been a great day. We got here late, and so I wasn't really ready for life. And then the weather isn't really playing ball. It's pretty cloudy. I'm very dark here. There's no moon. I think I'm using a slow shutter, so I'm using a quarter shutter right now, just so I can get some pictures to you. But if I pan the camera around to the north, which is where we would normally expect to see the aurora, there is nothing but cloud. So at the moment we're not going to see the aurora because it's cloudy. There are some breaks here and there in the cloud, and we might get lucky. It might clear up and we might get something, but tonight not looking really particularly promising. But things change. I mean, it was actually forecast to be snowing tonight, but it isn't. It's just some light cloud, and there are breaks in the cloud. If I pan up, I think you'll find we can see some stars almost directly overhead. Yeah, there's a few little stars there. Quite a few stars actually, in a little gap in the cloud. That gap may disappear altogether. It might get bigger. Tonight's going to shape out, but really I'm of seeing the aurora tonight. But that's kind of how it goes. If you go aurora chasing, you're probably not going to see the aurora every night, because you will have clouds some nights. You might not have the aurora. I'm just panning the camera around to the west. This is in the direction of Alta. Just level the tripod. And yeah, there's some stars there out that way. A little bit of something. I think that could actually be aurora. It's very, very faint, hidden behind the clouds, but it is mostly cloudy. It's not particularly cold for up here. It's about -11, -12 C, which I wouldn't call cold for up here. It's pretty mild, really. I don't even have my gloves on at the moment. So not really the conditions we want. I'm currently using a Sony FX3 with Axoon CMO going to an iPhone, and just streaming over the 5G connection that we've got here. It's quite a reasonable connection, but not really got anything to show you, I'm afraid. I wish there was more to see. I'll stay on for a little bit, and maybe something will pop out behind the clouds, but I wouldn't get too excited. I think tonight is going to be a no-show. What is the time? It's 11:15. It's fairly late. But who knows? I mean, the aurora is a really fickle thing. I mean, it's not there all of the time. It's often very faintly visible the majority of nights, I guess. And it can suddenly get much brighter. That could last 20 seconds, and then it could go again. So you do kind of have to be out. You've got to be in it to win it, as they say. So, hanging around outside, or at least with a group like this, having somebody hanging around outside, keeping an eye on the sky, keeping an eye on what's happening, is always desirable. But right now, not much going on. It was a very interesting ride up here on the snowmobiles because there's been so much wind and snow over the last day and a half that most of the tracks were buried in snow, couldn't see the tracks, and it was quite difficult going with the sledges that we used to tow the luggage and some of the passengers. Sadly, not a lot to report. Camera settings right now for anyone that's interested, just S-Log 3 with the S709 LUT, using the Cine EI mode, ISO of EI of 25,600, f1.4, so I'm using the 24mm f1.4 lens, and 1/4 of a second shutter. I'm not actually recording this at the moment, I'm just streaming it to you. It looks like it's clearing a little bit in that direction. There's certainly a lot more stars visible now, and they're sharper than they were a few minutes ago when I was pointing that way. But this is west towards Alta from Karasjok, and generally the aurora is going to be to the north when it's faint and it's not strong. So we really need that sort of gap in the cloud to move a bit further around to the north, and then we might see something. It's always amazing up here how many stars you see. It is so dark up here that there are, when it is clear, a tremendous amount of stars to see. When you do have clear skies, it's just totally full of stars. Wow, look at that. All of those stars. They're not hot pixels or anything like that. Those are stars. The little constellation, I'll put it in the middle of the frame. Little cluster of stars just there in the middle of the frame right now, called the Seven Sisters. Just there. And I don't think that's aurora you're seeing. I think it's just cloud, the edge of the cloud. But actually it's really clearing out now. Just looking around me. Oops. I just fell off the track into a big hole in the snow. It's getting very clear again in a minute. So I'm just going to spin the camera around to the northeast. And there we have a little bit of aurora. So very, very faint. But there it is. There's the Northern Lights. Just about visible to the naked eye, but really super faint at the moment. But there it is. That is the Northern Lights, as it happens. So there you go. We have aurora, but not worth getting anybody out of bed for or anything like that. So I'll let this run for a bit. Stop waffling for a minute. So let's just pan around and see what we can see. A lot of cloud on the horizon. To plug in a power cable here so I don't run out of power. Yeah, we're all good. Is right. What's glaring in my face? The camera, my night vision isn't right now, but the aurora better than I am. Nothing to write home about. So that was north-northwest, panning around now north, and come around north-northeast. Just about see it, the cloud. I would guess if my wife happens to have memories of the one time she about all she got to see. It was a barely aurora. It's just sometimes keep brighten up. Amount of cloud still. I'll try to go tomorrow during the daylight of the setup that I'm using to stream this. It's dark. See what do a video at some point of the whole setup. So, as I mentioned earlier, it's Sony X3. Currently using the Sony EI Quick 2600 1.4 and a 1/4 second. They're very, very dark out and things tonight. Normally have to go to such a slow shutter. It is CMO Pro. CMO Pro is plugged into an iPhone, streaming from the CMO app to YouTube. So while the aurora isn't doing much, I'm just going to pan the camera this way a little bit. And right in the middle of the frame, 3 stars in a row, that's Orion's belt. There's cloud below it, so you can't really see the dagger of a constellation of Orion. And then above the 3 stars in a row, there's 2 stars, 2 bright stars just above that band of cloud in the middle of the frame. One is slightly orange compared to the bright one, and the slightly orange one is Betelgeuse. So I might have been involved in something about Betelgeuse last year that will be released later this year. Luck. Yeah, there you go. There's Betelgeuse. I better not say. Anyone that knows the film will know why I'm not going to say it 3 times. Of course, it's all a load of nonsense. It's just a movie. But the row together, it's Orion's belt. The 2 brighter stars, the little cloud bank, are I can't remember. It begins with a P. The top half of the constellation of Orion. You can't see the half because there's cloud in the way. So, yeah, we do get to see a lot of stars. And one of the things always when I come up here that surprises me compared to home is that Orion is so low on the horizon here, north of the Arctic Circle, compared to where it would be at home. It would be much higher in the sky. So in this frame right now, you have this very, very bright star, which I don't think is a star. I think that's probably Venus. I'm not sure on that, but it's the only thing I can think of it with that. I'm going to put it in the middle of the frame. It's just kind of disappearing behind the cloud. Right in the middle of the frame now, there is a little it kind of almost looks like a star. It's more of a smudge right in the center of the frame. And that is the galaxy that is nearest to us, the Andromeda Galaxy, that little smudge. Take a long photo of that. I think it's just disappeared in some cloud. You would sort of see it's a sort of like a almost like a disc shape. That's the closest galaxy to us, the Andromeda Galaxy. Just about visible. It's like just looks like a smudge. Star right in the middle of the frame right now. Yeah, it's not image. Let's see what if we've got anything going on. Aurora. Let's just. There's probably aurora in the background there. Here, no stars. Let's keep going around. Yes, it's a cloud, pretty cloudy to the north now. Can't see the very, very faint aurora is there. Brightest cloud, stars or planets are visible through the cloud at the moment. Yeah, so that was all stars maybe 2 minutes ago, and now they've all gone. Nothing but cloud cover now. I'm not really seeing any stars anywhere now. Everywhere I look, it's just cloud. So there's the cabins. Oh, stars appearing just about. Very, very faint aurora. Largely hidden by the cloud at the moment. don't know why you're watching this. I wouldn't be bothering to watch this. I'm here, I'm in Norway, so I'm going to stream it. Because so the plan is to do one of these streams every night. Weather permitting. I think if it's just cloudy and snowing, I may or may not stream if it's really, really bad. I've got to be outside and on the top of this hill to get a good enough cell phone connection to stream. So if the weather is really storm or something like that, I won't be out here doing that. But I will try and stream every evening for the next. This is the first night. There'll be 4 more nights, and it's impossible to really sort of look at the weather forecast here and be sure of what's going to happen. The forecast tonight was reasonably heavy snowstorm and cloud. I mean, there is some cloud around, complete cloud cover. We're seeing stars and we've got gaps in the cloud which were not in the weather forecast. The next few nights are all forecast to be cloudy, but who knows? Even with sort of this amount of cloud, if there's a strong aurora, you'd see it really well. So who knows what we're going to see over the next nights? We might see nothing, as good as it gets, or we might see a lot more. I would hope we see a lot more. Is particularly faint tonight. It's very, very unusually faint almost. There's normally a little bit better than this. But I'll keep going. I'll still some little bits of clear in case it does kick. The number of times I've sort of given up for the side or indoors, and then somebody's come running in to say that the aurora's out and been dancing away, and I've missed it because I've been inside. Of so one of the things I've often seen with these very, very aurora be a bit more red, and I'm just sort of, if you're going to see it on the stream, so you've got very, very faint green, and on the sort of right hand side-ish of it, it's like a red beam. tree that's on the red. I can't with my eye. I'm camera's picking better than I can see it, but there's definitely a sort of a hint of a little just above a tree on the right hand side. You get the aurora, you do get that, and I'm sure if I was to take a exposure photograph, a green band of aurora with a little red band of it, red beam. So I'm just going to. The stream might there won't be any